today's episode, some Coco bills holders have decided not to take part in government's Coco bill exchange program, and they are asking COCOBOD to honor the payments before the close of the month of January. There's more in James Ashan's report now on the AM show.
2023, monies paid to investors who purchased Coco bills on maturity were withdrawn from individual investors' accounts without their consent. COCOBOD issued the bill to raise funds. Many had bought the bills expecting to be paid back their monies with interest on Thursday, January 19, 2023. Reports from some fund managers indicated the monies were actually paid on Thursday, January 19, 2023, only to be reversed on Friday, January 20, 2023. The banks have pointed to a directive from the Bank of Ghana ordering them to unilaterally roll over the bonds without first seeking the consent of investors. Banks were under pressure from affected customers. Echikwam, a retiree, was one of the affected customers. He expresses shock at the development since the money was rolled over without his consent.
I worked for 36 years. I started at GB Olivant and then went to Unilever. Then I went to Unilever in Zimbabwe. Then I came back to Guinness in Ghana, worked for a short time. Then as for the investments, one can say I've been investing for a while. Treasury bills, fixed deposits and all those things. And it's only recently that we took the Coco bills. We've been saving all sorts of various things, depending on what is going right at a point in time. It was in, July 2022? That's when we started with them.
Barely a year or two.
Yes, barely. So this has been our latest venture, and we've been caught with our pants down.
6 months after the Ghana COCOBOD launched a debt securities exchange program, under which it invited holders of its short-term debt securities or the Coco bills to voluntarily offer to exchange their Coco bills. Coco bills holders were asked to sign on to the exchange program, but Echikwam opted out.
As part of my retirement, I got a certain amount and I put it there. If we were in another place, and then they came and made another proposal to us, which was interesting. So we moved our funds there, and we were supposed to enjoy our benefit plus our initial capital in January 20. Yeah, that it was in 2001. 2023. Yeah, 2023. So we were waiting. Then we had some hints that something was up. So we wrote to them and said, look, sell our thing and give us back our investment. Okay. And they said they would try. So come the payment time, I saw that the money to our account in the morning. Before I could say Jack, it had been debited again. So we were rather surprised. And apparently this debt recovery program had been launched. So we didn't know what was going on. And in fact, up to today, we don't really know what's going on.
Not to cut you, but what are we talking about? Is it the Coco bills?
Coco bills. Yes.
When it was being debited, were there any official communique to you customers and all that?
No, we didn't know of anything. In fact, something like this, we should have been written to, to inform us that this is the problem and therefore the investment is going to be tampered or whatever. But we didn't get any formal writing to. For example, our investor our investment company should have told us that this was in the works, but they didn't tell us. Every now and then, we engage with them to find out what is going on. And they tell us they are talking to the guys. They will get back to us on if they hear anything positive. They will get back to us. But like I said, for us it was in January. It was in January that this whole thing happened, because on the 20th of January we were supposed to have received our investment and whatever dividends had come on it, but we didn't get anything.
Almost 6 months after, no communication on the payment for those who decided not to tender. Echikwam and wife, amongst others, are worried why government and COCOBOD are failing to honor payment of those who failed to tender their cocoa bills after government pegged the participation in the exchange program at 97%, with over 7 billion Ghana cedis bills tendered.
We have been extremely successful with the current tendering of more than 90% for cocoa bills of 7.9 billion cedis and US dollar exchange of $809 million. And detailed announcements will flow through when the settlements are done.
According to Gifty Kwam, wife of Echikwam, footing the bills of their ward in the university has been very difficult.
Okay, so the cocoa bills matured in January 20th, and our fund managers were ready to give us the money, and then they got back to us and said that the money was not available, and it was clear from all the news that the funds had been rolled over without our consent, rolled over whatever interest rates that needs to be negotiated for the next 6 months. Nothing. They didn't pay us the principal, they didn't even pay the interest. And the documents we had, because of the uncertainty, no bank will even look on that and give you any money. And my husband is on retirement, you see, and that's what he had planned for. I mean, if anybody knows my husband, they know that he plans ahead of anything. He's a very organized person. And so he planned for his retirement. And even he didn't want to retire at this time, but because of illness, he had to stop. So now we are paying medical bills and monies are locked up. So we only managed through the first 6 months, hoping that by July 20th we'll get our money back. So in fact, TESA said, because the Bank of Ghana said institutions were not being paid, they actually put our names under individual accounts and actually inform the regulator so that we'll be paid like all other retail customers. So come July, we're expecting that at least we have suffered enough, our money to be paid us. Only for COCOBOD to have another press release that either COCOBOD or Bank of Ghana, I'm not sure, that we should exchange our cocoa bills for bonds. And we said no, and fortunately it was voluntary, so we said no. So we wrote to TESA and said no, we are not going to be part of that, hoping that our money should be paid us. 6 months after that, down the line, and almost 1 year since 20th of January last year, nothing has been paid, nothing is being said. We go to TESA Capital almost every now and then, and they have nothing. Some people are very organized people. They plan for their future because they want to enjoy the comforts. And so to take their investment, their lifetime investment, I mean, you are not paying them even the principal, then pay the interest. You are not giving them interest, nothing, and you are not saying anything, and everybody is quiet. I think it's morally wrong, and in fact, it's legally unacceptable. I mean, the trauma even to our children who have to even go through all kinds of things and explanations. It's not right, because they know their parents and they know we planned for them. So I'm begging the ministry to pay us our money. That's all. It's our money. You rolled it over without our consent and with your own interest rates. Fine, you give us our money back. Give it to us. That's all we're asking. It's not right to keep it.
The family is in total disbelief and wants their monies to be paid or a communication from the COCOBOD or the Finance Ministry.
Well, it's not been easy. It's not been easy. I've got a kid in school, in the university, and I have medical bills I have to take care of. We have the house I have to take care of, and it's not been easy. So every month we try and see what we can do, but it has not been easy. And yeah, that's it. It has not been easy. So that's why we keep going to them to try and get them to tell us if anything is going on, But we don't get any proper feedback.
I know you are not the only one being affected by this, but do we have other groups who are also complaining about similar situation?
Well, really, yes, there are other people also going through this. I know I don't want to mention names, but there are other people who are going through similar challenges. I know some people have died because of it. I know some people who are very sick. I know a lot of other people. But this one is, you have to cry for yourself, because the way it has been done, we don't get together like the previous guys got together to stage a demonstration and all that, because really we don't know ourselves. So we don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, we demanded that our monies be paid us, and they said that the only hitch with the first payment was that Bank of Ghana said that the monies had been put under one institution, and it was considered as an institutional investment. And so they went ahead and segregated the accounts so that individuals will have their monies under their names with the regulator. So they knew that since that criteria had been met, then we did not have any problem collecting our money in July. So they were very sure that we'll get our money in July. Come July, monies were not paid. And then you say that we should exchange our cocoa bills for, for bonds. And so we were taken aback because it hasn't been easy. It was not easy till then. We're hoping that at least we'll get some relief in July, and nothing happened. And it's a very stressful situation to go through at this time when my husband is on retirement and actually not that well,
Is it a joint investment between you and your husband, or it's just?
Yes, it's his investment plus mine put together, which we invested there. And we looked for the best option because it's like a pension stuff. We looked for something that had zero risk. And at the time, who would have thought that cocoa bills will have issues? And we even, when we gave it to the fund managers, it was a portfolio that was supposed to be managed. So they put a chunk in cocoa bills and put some in other, investments. And we were happy with the way they had managed it, until this whole issue came. And indeed, getting to the December, when we started hearing about exchange, a haircut and all that, we approached them and they said, the minister had made it clear that cocoa bills were not part of the exchange, So we were okay with this until the 20th when the thing matured, and now everything had gone haywire.
Being a woman of the house, how is it like, especially having Mr. Kwam go through all this?
It's not been easy at all. And I have my own business, a real estate business. And because of the economic terrain, everybody is very hedgy. People are not too sure of where to even invest. So sales, nobody wants to buy anything at this time. They're just like waiting to see what the next move will be. So even that is not really helping for me to even say I'll support him with that. And we have a home to manage. We have our last born in university. It's been very, very difficult. Nobody wants to go through that at this time of their lives.
Cocoa bill holders, just like the Kwam's family, are asking for an update on payment for those who decided not to tender their cocoa bills. James Echen's report for Joy Business.